What's up guys, Joe from the AZ Westside Wheelers here. Today we're going to show you the Evo Manufacturing Rockstar Skids, and we're going to install these to get a little extra ground clearance in one of our lowest spots and to give you 2 more inches of droop, 1.5 inches. We all like the extra flex. Stick around to see how.
Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as.
Okay guys, so here we are underneath the Jeep. What you're going to need to do is you're going to want to start by jacking it up, putting it on jack stands, making sure it's safe. Then you'll move on. You'll want to remove your shocks, upper and lower, and your lower sway bar link. Now, everybody's is going to be a little different. If you're working with stock, unfortunately, I don't have stock numbers for you. I believe the control arm that you're going to need to remove is going to be a 21 millimeter. The shock bolt is a 19. I'm assuming it's probably going to be really close, 19, 18, something like that for the stock version. So we're going to remove this lower section of the shock. That's going to get that out of the way. And then you'll remove your sway bar end link, which is going to be a 15. Holding it on the back side with a 14. Again, these are aftermarket links. Yours might be a little different.
Because there's this lip over here that catches. It looks like it kind of goes just straight down.
Knocking the fucking handle off.
Right.
These right here are rock hard 4x4 skids. And I'll tell you what, they've saved the control arms quite a bit. This one is actually the good one. Okay, so now you've got your shock off, your sway bar link is gone. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut this whole tab off. Trim it out with a Sawzall, grinder, whatever you need to do. Also, your sway bar link tab, you'll want to trim it off flush. Don't cut into this. Just trim them flush, and then we'll flap wheel them smooth. Over here, you're going to go right from the dead center of this bolt hole, 1.5 inches down, and mark a line. That's where we're going to cut the whole bottom of this off. I'll show you how to do that. So at this point in the grinding process, your legs are asleep, you're wishing you had a plasma cutter or a buddy with a plasma cutter. Stay tuned for the other side.
I got tracks and some music that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh.
So, now you got your 2 small bolts put in, torque those down to 40. You put your control arm bolt back in. You might have to, our best suggestion would be to remove this end of it, stuff it in this lower bracket and up in the top. Don't put the bolt in the top yet, just bolt it down here at the bottom, torque it to 125. If you don't have the right control arms where you can torque it to spec up in the air, you need to wait till it's on the ground to torque it to spec for your control arm bolts. But once you get this bolt in, You'll run a ratchet strap and you should be able to easily get this bolt in. Just suck it together. Put this bolt in, 125 foot-pounds, and Loctite everything. I use orange. Orange is like red, but it's removable like blue. So that's what I prefer. So now we're gonna just put our shock on, sway bar link. We're gonna adjust our sway bar link to fit properly again, and we're done. Okay, so now you've got your shock installed. You'll wanna install your sway bar link. Ours has to be trimmed down a little. We'll get that put in later. Make sure you use orange Loctite on everything. Now, with ours, we had 1.5 inches up here that was not being used. So with this kit, it's gonna now travel up 1.5 inches higher on your shock, and you're gonna get 1.5 inches more down travel. So you need to watch your brake lines and things of that nature to make sure you're not gonna overstretch when you droop out. And when you stuff this tire up, you're gonna wanna make sure you don't bottom out your shock. If you're bottoming out your shock, you need to add bump stops. Okay, so you got your shock back in. We're gonna add the sway bar link back in. I wasn't able to do mine. I have to trim it down a little. It's got infinite adjustability. But you wanna make sure everything's torqued down. Don't forget Loctite on everything, orange on everything. Once you have everything put in place, touch up your paint, put your wheels and tires back on, you're gonna wanna take it and go flex test, because now you have given yourself 1.5 inches more up travel, so you might bottom your shock out, and you're gonna need to watch your brake lines and things of that nature because you have more down travel, so you have to watch for those things. So, we appreciate you sticking around for the video. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. What do you think? Would you do something like this? We do pretty much anything for flex, and as you can see, it added a lot of extra clearance underneath there. We appreciate you.
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who